Hey, good evening, chat. Hello. It is Friday night. We got a quick little thing we're going to be talking about. Then we're going to get on to, I think we'll probably do a little bit of train. We'll do some train stuff, I'm thinking. Not sure, though. We'll decide what game we're going to do. We'll start up a stream then. I always extra 90 seconds of train streaming. I'm not sure why, but okay. All right. Edward Scott says it's officially late and gay. And I started at 8:05, so I guess you were the late and gay one. But we are gonna get started here. I forgot I got mail. We got to do some mail tonight. Like Versace, I was checking the mail today, chat. So I gotta go grab that. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. All right, chat, here we go. First thing is from Yellow Flash. He said he's sending me something. So let's see what it is. Kind of have an idea what this is here, but okay. Here we go. So he gets that media mail, which is always nice. Hi there, Clyde boy. Hi, Pupper. You're okay, Papa. This is a copy. Well, it's a blank. No. It is the Mighty Patriot, the Mighty Golden Patriot. This is Yellow Flash's comic. So, and it's like actually thick. It's pretty thick. It's gonna be the first. This will be like the first comic I've ever actually read. So, I'll give it a shot. Tell you guys what I think. But yeah, thank you, Flash. Thank you very much. We'll have to give this a shot. That's all that's in there, guys, too. Sorry. So there's nothing else to talk about there. Another thing, this is from Amazon. So, it's like this came in during the week, but I wasn't told there was anything in my box. That's what she said. But no, I don't know what this is, so we're going to take a look here. All right. Okay. Okay. Well, it looks like somebody put some notes in here, so I can at least tell you thank you. Feed me a sandwich. All right. This is from Katie. It says, chat pay you, you wear dis. Well, chat hasn't paid me, so I don't know. Like, yes, if chat pays me, I guess I will wear this. Holy Jesus. All right. So, first things first. J-Rock already had got me one of these that actually will fit my head. So, this is a little... that's a little small. I assume 2.0 knew this was coming, but this will not fit on my head too well. But there we go. We have another train whistle, but I don't know what's the tone on this one sound like. All right, let's try this one and the one 2.0 got me side by side. Not as girthy. So. No. I like this one better. Sorry, Katie. This one's a lot better. And still, once again. Yeah, this one, I don't know if it's something caught in it or whatever, but this one, I think is our winner. We have a little bandana. You got red for the blood. That's right. Got that blood out there. Blood Nation. That's what we got. This is chat where you pay this. So I got to figure out how much that's going to be. And then we've got train tickets. And because it's a train ticket, I have to... Oh, God almighty. I have to punch tickets. You know, I talked about people getting their ticket punched. I wasn't making a train reference. I'm making a reference to they're getting killed. Oh, my God. Are there foam or gang signs? Yes. This is a twain wobbly. Oh. What is blood even doing? I don't know, blood. Then, it's okay. At least I said something unlike you broadcasts. Repping the Bloods. Why not, man? Could be like Lil Wayne and all them. Anyway, so let's see. This is from the Washington State University Creamery in beautiful Pullman, Washington. This is from Debbie O. Because she had said she was going to do this. And I'm still... Guys, thank you so much. I mean, everything you guys like... I know some of it's sincere. Like, I know it's all sincere at the end of the day. Some of it's all, like, you know, as a joke and it's funny. Whatever you guys have said, thank you so very much. Even when it's been like a joke or just to be antagonizing to me, it's been fucking hilarious. So, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys caring enough that much, one way or another. All right. So this is what we were waiting on. This is cougar cheese. And no, that's not what happens when you find a mature woman and give her a squeeze. What pops out. So we got two brands. We've got Cougar Gold. Cougar Gold. And then, God, these things are fucking stout. Like, chock full of cheese. The Natural Viking. Natural Viking is a Jack-style cheese, which sounds good. Then they have it's a Jack-style cheese flavored with dillweed, which I like dill. I like dill. I remember as a kid, dillweed used to be like a thing you call people when they're being dickheads. And then the sharp white cheddar, which you're never gonna have a bad day with sharp white cheddar, especially when it's white. When a white cheese for white people. But Debbie, thank you so very, very much for that. I appreciate it. I know 2.0 is going to appreciate it. And as I open these, Clyde is going to obviously be taking in the cheese tax. So as I understand it, I did read up. Yes, apparently when you open these fuckers up, which I probably will do a video on, you have to put these in a sealed container. You can't just like have a tub of cheese sitting in your fucking fridge, open like butter. Store under refrigeration. Date on the other side is the date at which aging began. Date on the other side. Oh. Oh, and it comes with a magnet. Ooh. So, made by Emma, April 15th, 2024. So, thank you, Emma. And then this one was done December 31st, 2024. So, But yeah, this is nice. 30 servings per container, 100 calories per serving. Nice. All right, chat. I'm gonna have to like reorganize with all the shit I've got in here lately now. Like, been working on sorting the office out, which I'm gonna probably try to really do tomorrow. Now that Bonbon's gone, because Bonbon, like, when we first got her here, she peed on the rug that I have, like underneath my chair, so I don't scuff up the floor. And I was like, well, the train rug 2.0 got me. I didn't want to mess up, so. Yeah. So there we go, chat. So she says chat pays you were this. So I don't know how much we need to set for that, but we'll do it for the show. Bonbon was the voice of reason on these streams. Yes, she was. All right. No. Debbie has gotten these before, and I want to say, Debbie, thank you so very much. She says, you're welcome. Hold on. Why is it not pulling up here? Debbie says, you're welcome. I visited my dad a couple weeks ago, and he still had a can of Cougar Gold in his fridge, waiting for a special occasion, he says. Well, that's cool. Hold on to it. I bet it'll stay. Bass Player says, oh no, FN discontinued the overpriced rifle. How sad. Well, they only discontinued civilian sales. We're gonna read their thing. Ag Biochemist for $1.99 says, choo choo. Yes, the most native son of Louisiana. And then EDW Raptor for $10 says, here, chat paying you. Well, we never established a price. I love the Sonichu bag. No, I did not. Reverend Gubby says, my wife and I love you. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Do Austrian train autists have lisps? I feel like I already know the answer. X says there was a couple that was buying a box full of cans of cheese when I went in there this afternoon. That's a lot of fucking cheese, man. Fred says, guys, Sean doesn't need any more food. Stop mailing him shit, you feeders. Well, it's not just for me, but 2.0 and Clyde. They can all eat it. Doxing my P.O. box. Let's see here. Enjoy your LDL, yeah. Yeah, is Emma the cow's name? I don't know. Let them mature a while. We were thinking about that. Emma's the cougar the cheese came out of, yeah. Saw the mung. Refrigerate before opening, yeah, they are going to get refrigerated. You said the studio remodel won't take a year like Nick. No, it's not. And I've got the pictures EDW sent in. Those are going to go up behind us. We got a whole way we're going to do everything here. Let's see. Wow, you guys I was trying to catch up. Let's see here. Wow, you guys are all right. All right, guys. So we'll start off kind of like with the kind of just like sad news if you're looking for an FN Scar. But if you guys have never seen them before, the FN Scar is the rifle they came out with for is initially made per request from Special Forces and SOCOM. It's something that FN has made. It's the brown gun. It's been multiple things. If you guys have seen it, if you guys have played any video game, in the past 20 years, you have seen the scar. If they make it in 5.56, they make it in 308. And here is the scar in all its glory. Just a real quick reference point. That's the scar. And from here with the scar, it's been out for 20 years, and I've only shot one twice, and it was a 308 version. I shot 2 rounds out of it. I went bang and then bang. It doesn't do anything special, I think, ultimately, but Fabrique Nationale, FN, people who make the M240, they also make the M16s. They thought it did. They make the FN57, they make the P90, they make all kinds of stuff. They put out this past weekend, this past week, they said an update on the commercial legacy SCAR series in the United States. And what are they saying? No more rumors. FN has completed our final production run of commercial legacy SCAR series in the United States. So what does that mean? The SCAR 16S, which is the 5.56 gun, the 17S, which is the 30 cal version, and then the 20S, which is the 20-inch barreled version. But not the SCAR 15P, which is the pistol that they make now. What's currently in our market is all that remains. So if you've been wanting one, now's the time to grab before it's gone. And the thing is, SCARs, their production's been okay, but there haven't been tons of them available at any time. And they're usually at least $3,000. Like, they're very fucking expensive. Now notice this. Nothing affects the global military SCARs. They have enough they make enough money in the military contracts, but it's clear they were not making enough money locally and domestically. So they say there's more info in SHOT Show 2026, so in a couple of months. If you own a commercial legacy SCAR, don't worry about support. You can still receive parts or spare parts for a period of time. For accessories, magazines, and for the legacies, will continue to be available in the future. However, the supply of accessories such as barrels and barrel assemblies will be limited over the next 5 years. So if you want to buy a spare barrel or something happens and you need a new barrel, yeah. Yeah, like, it's all gone, chat. It's all gone. It's all gone. It's all gone if you happen to be a SCAR owner. So, Safa. I don't know why people would buy one, but hey, people did. I mean, they're kind of neat, but I just don't think they're neat enough. I just, like I said, I just don't know. I just don't know. So there are some bits of funny memes out there about all this. Where is the one? Where's the best one I wanted to? Where's the one I really wanted to show? Yeah, there's a couple of good ones out there. So here are some funny things that have come out, and these are just hilarious. So this is a meme of, you got a bunch of different guns here, uh, and then you got like some various different FN rifles and guns they've made over time, and they've all gone and died, and the SCAR has now gone up to heaven to join them. Then we get to the AR-15, the reigning and defending undisputed rifle champion of the world. The M14 took it out. The SCAR took it out. And knocking on the door of the XM7, it is going bye-bye in the car. It's, oh God, it's so funny. It's kind of sad at the same time. Oh, I can't. I can't anymore. Like, this shit is so damn funny. This shit is so damn funny. Uh, the one thing I wish I could find, and I saw it earlier, was that meme where the guy's doing the thing right next to the grave, and it says Scar 2004, 2025, and then it says AR-15 M16 1959 to present. Oh. So yeah, that's where it's gonna be. That's what's gonna be. Don't bother nuts as I cry every time. Yeah. Oh, the scar is going away, but Simba will be fine. Yes. EDW says it's not as neat as the P90. No, the P90 is very cool. P90 is very, very cool. So, Tim is saying, what's in between military and civilian barrels? Just the lengths, because it's like there's that. I'm assuming. I'm not really sure what else, but I think they're saying like we'll put all of our production is going into the military contracts they have. So who really knows? I don't know. I don't have a fucking scar. The only good thing is like with a scar, if you lost your leg, the meme was always this part here is the stock. It would detach. And if you lost your leg, it came with a free prosthetic boot you could wear home. So it had some advantages. Had some advantages. Fred Rush for $10 says, "Rip, Scar King. I will miss you. Yes, never forgetty. Never forgetty. F's in the chat for the Scar." Samuel Harmon says the XM7 is on almost as much life support as. Well, okay. The AR-15 is the modern brown bess. That's actually a pretty accurate statement. The brown bess served for a very long time in the British Army. It's kind of the equivalent when you think about it. It's the AR-15 itself, though. Eugene Stoner built it. He built that in the early. He worked on it through the mid 1950s. Think about how long it's been around for. It's 67 years old till the military and officially got introduced onto the market. It's even only that 70-something years old total. Like, that's crazy when you think about it. Just like that meme, it says an airplane that's 50 years old, the 50-year-old airplane meme. When you think about it, you're like, when you think of a 50-year-old plane, it's this is very correct. This is very correct, although it's not the one I was thinking of. And I hate to say this is from Reddit, but it is. 50-year-old plane in reality. What you think a 50-year-old plane is in your head. An F-86 Sabre. A 50-year-old plane in reality is the F-16. And the F-15. They're both 50-year-old planes. It's so depressing when you think about that. It's so depressing. Like, you wouldn't think of it that way. I mean, here's another great one. This one here. The F-100 Super Sabre is not a 50-year-old plane. The F-15 Eagle is a 50-year-old plane. Oof. Oof. Oof, 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 oof. Yeah. So. Then Armbruster, you're asking a question here. Will we ever see a wide question-ending rulings on the 2A from SCOTUS? No. What I will tell you is it's going to be very much like the civil rights movement. All the different laws, and all the different ways that you could try to be racist and discriminatory was like you had to nibble away. They had to nibble away at the edges until it was gone. And that's going to be the same thing for the Second Amendment because there's so many things. It's probably going to be 20 years before it's officially the Second Amendment has all the protection it deserves. It's going to be a while. But these cases because the anti-gun movement is so established and big, any victory is devastating to them. Even the smallest victories hurt them a lot. So, no, there's not going to be a big one as much as I'd like it to be. But remember, courts try to avoid that. You don't try to do wide sweeping rulings because, like, you try to avoid that because it's not your job. Your job is to let people figure out what to do, and then they come to you if it works or not. That's the ultimate way of handling it. 12th Monkey says the M4 platform, the M16 platform, can't be the best for infantry. I mean, it is for now. I think it's going to be the standard until we get to either better caseless ammunition like a G11 and a better way to run one of those, or we're going to get some sort of directed energy weapon. It's going to be that this is going to be the standard. And even after we get that stuff's going to be expensive. We're going to have like the M16 platform is going to be, I mean, all the countries all over the world are adopting it. France did. Germany's doing it. France dumped the FAMAS. Germany dumped the G36. Everybody's signing up. It's, the times they are a-changing. Oh, thank you, EDW Raptor. Yes. Found the meme for me. Yes. Yes, the FN Scar. This is perfect. 2024 to 25, 21 years. The AR-15, 1956 on. You can't beat it. You can't beat that. Yes, Pam Bondi's retarded, though, so nothing you can do about that. Unforced Ego for $10. Good to see you, man. Saying, sorry if you already covered this, but a former lawyer was claiming on a stream last night that if you criticize a judge publicly, then that judge has to recuse himself from your trial. Is that true? No, that's not no, that if it was that fucking easy. If it was only that easy, could there be times where that might happen? Sure. But just merely it's not, yeah. The short answer is no. The long answer is possibly. But very likely still no. So that's why that's what I'll leave that one there at. No, Mayo says back during segregation days when life was safer. Yes. The AR-15 comes from the time of Jim Crow. Out in beautiful Costa Mesa, California at Armalite Industries. Oh, no, chat. Oh, no. Joe Strickland for $2 says the F-117 got its X number before the F-4 Phantom did. Yup. There's some really unique things out there in history. But yes, the F-117 was a long-running skunkworks project. Then Jacob Shed for $5 says Kayla's going to file another HO against Aaron very soon. She hasn't filed one before, so she will file one of her own. Okay, makes sense. Aaron won't survive this. Yeah, maybe not. I mean, they keep talking about what they're going to do, and they haven't done any fucking thing about it. It's like, you might as well strike while the iron's hot. So, but yet here they sit, not doing a fucking thing. So. Johan Noxus is undisputed. Laughs an AK-47. Yeah, you know what though? It's you laugh at Eugene's handiwork, but even Mikhail realized, this man's got the working man's platform. You know, you laugh at the AK-47. You Q-tip jockeys are so sure of yourselves. Of the U.S. military, it is the reigning and defending and undisputed champion of the service rifle at this point. So the AK is never coming over here. What do you think serves longer, the B-52 or the M16 platform? Well, I mean, we're getting kind of close on both of those things. Because technically, right now, the B-52 has been flying. I mean, its first flight was 1950. Well, its first flight was 1952. It was introduced 1955. So it's already served longer anyway. I mean, the B-52 is supposed to serve for another fucking. It's projected to go into the 2050s. I don't think we're gonna have directed energy weapons by then that can be man portable. So I think that the M16 will survive longer in military service. So the steel toe prison sandal show. Uh but the fat man is a 9mm fanboy. You know, the 9mm and the 45 have put a lot of people in the dirt over the years. Like staggeringly similar numbers. So they both work. They both work. And I would say nowadays, with the technology of bullet technology, the 9mm does everything a 45 can do, but better and with more capacity. 45 is just the king of being suppressed. Okay. Let me see here. When will you have Brandon Herrera on to promote his Senate race? I don't know if Brandon would ever come on here, man. I'm like small time. Also, I'm kind of like worried. Like if I reach out, I'll be like, "Hey, you remember that Nick Rekieta guy?" Like, like I'm sure that, like, I don't know. I've not reached out to him because I'm like, I just don't think that's gonna work. I'd love to though. I think it'd be so much fun. Love to talk to him about how he deals with all the stuff in his development. How I think there's a lot of things he could talk about, but I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know if he'd want to come on. I'd love it if he did. The F-15 is very Gen X energy. Yeah. Yes. You mean the 8.6 blackout subsonic? Isn't it like 8.6? I thought. Yeah, that stuff's cool. Yes, the AR-15, the 1911, and the lever gun are eternal formats now. Yes. Are there better infantry rifles than an M4 or M16? I don't think so. What do you think is better? The G36 isn't better. It's a shitty option. Um, Nothing China's putting out is good. The AK, like the Century Series AKs, really aren't that. I mean, they work, but you're not getting anything better out of it. What would you use? Like, if you had the choice, Steven, what would you equip to battle with that? Because I don't know what you would do right now. Yohan says dumping the G36 is a poor decision. Why? It was a gun. It was a gun with plastic trunnions. If you shot it too much, the plastic would soften and the barrel could move. Like if your gun was out in the desert, they found this out in Afghanistan. They had to flip them over every once in a while, like it's a burger patty, so it didn't heat up the fucking sides of the gun unevenly. Tim says you missed all the left wing rulings. Roe, Brown, they're all okay with big guns as long as it's left wing. Yeah, that too. There's that too as well. 1950s NATO would be shocked that everyone actually standardized. Yes, that is very true. Have I seen the 12 gauge SCAR in a G3 clone? Yes, they look boss. I saw a short video about the 12 gauge G3 clone. It looks cool, and it's a gun you could do the HK slap on. So if you're never going to be able to afford an HK derivative, yes, that's a way you can get your fix. But I mean, those are like 5-round magazines. I don't think that doesn't. I don't know. It looks neat though, and yeah, they just basically make a plastic shell, which is a brilliant idea. Embalmed, you're talking about the X numbers. So like when an airplane becomes when an airplane is designed and while it's still being, experimental, you get things like this. You get an X designation because you're an experimental plane. So Before there was the B-52, there was the XB-52. And notice, kind of look how it started. Very different from what it is now, but that's the, there's the X-15. And then it became like, the YF-15. Yes, the experimental and Y is the test bed. Yep. The bubble canopy is cute. It looks bad. Am I going to cover the barrels requiring FFLs? Yes, we're going to get to that too. Yes, there's a lot of stuff here. Hold on here. Okay. It's pre-Rock Lobster. Yes. All right. So moving on from here, guys. Moving on to the state of California. I am so sorry for you guys in California. It's oh, okay. EDW Raptor says laughing Galil. Q Hava Nagila. Galils are fucking garbage. I don't think any Israeli was ever happy that they owned a Galil or used a Galil. And then, like, the ones that made it here into America, almost all of them are made by Century, so they're all fucking garbage. Galils suck. Even in Counter-Strike, the Galils sucked. Yeah, and then in The Way of the Gun, when Benicio del Toro's got the Galil, and he's just like, he doesn't kill anybody with the Galil. He only kills people with his 1911, and that's yeah, but Galils, man, my respect for you just fucking plummeted. Oh no. American Patriot for 199 says, "What's your favorite pistol caliber?" I mean, really, it is going to be 9mm. It does everything you need to. I think 45's got the unique ability, though, to be complete. It's subsonic to start with. So for suppressing things, it's got that ability. But, nowadays, you don't need, it's like they made the MP5. And then because people like the 45, they made the UMP. HK made a 45 caliber submachine gun. But you don't need a 45 anymore. The bullet loadings and the ballistics of modern 9mm ammunition, like in the Glock 19 that's here in the house for social occasions. I got PDX 1s in that bitch. Does everything I need to do. But I can also be like, I like 9mm Largo, which that is actually a pretty cool cartridge. And like 38 Super, pretty cool too. Walter Malone for $5 says, will the Glock barrel law be able to stop me from buying wind chimes? I don't know about that. That's going to be an issue there. So but anyways, we're going to get to what's going on here in California as far as things are done. Let me see here, because I'm trying to get okay. Why is this not working? Okay. So the first thing California is doing right now, besides being communist and destroying everything. Oh, Papa says they've never had a real pew. Yes. Maddie's saying their grandfather too, but we're going to get to what this all means. We're going to get to what all this means real quick. And real quick, Urbrask is saying, yes, 147 grains of sonic, but most people shoot 115 grain ball ammunition, and that's not subsonic. That's supersonic. 45 is always subsonic. I mean, I guess you could find like some Buffalo bore piss and hot loads, but 45 has always been subsonic. So EDW Raptor says, I only have handguns and revolvers. Get yourself a rifle, buddy. Get a rifle. The Galil Ace 308 with the built-in bottle opener. Okay. The Galil Ace is not the same as like a Galil. Like I'm talking about like Tom Sizemore and Heat type of Galil. Did you kiss your wall today? No. No. Oh. Oh, I don't want to. I just wanted to attempt a joke. Well, no, but it's kind of a joke, but you know. Oh. So anyway, guys, moving on. California. California's got 2 crazy ass laws that are coming down the pipe. So, what do you want to see here? Well, California is going after, and this is something it actually happens in Europe. When it comes to firearms and serializing parts, in Europe and in many countries, the barrel is the serialized part because that's the pressure bearing vessel on a firearm. It's the one thing you generally can't make on your own. You actually need machining and high quality tools to make a barrel. For like an AR-15, for example, the lower receiver is the registered part here in America. But we've seen now after, time and people experimenting, people have made AR-15 receivers out of wood. They've made them out of paper. You can 3D print a lower receiver. Like there's so many things that show you don't need that part to be registered, but that is under American gun law how that's done. Tim says you need a lathe and $500. Yeah, okay, but you need a lot more than a lathe. You need to know how to operate it. And that's fucking dangerous on its own. Do you know how to properly do it? Do you know how to machine? Are you going to have you're not going to be able to make a barrel like Bergara or, White Oak or Compass Lake. You're not going to make a precision barrel. You might make one that bullets could fly down it, but that's it. So, yeah, Mark Serbu's talked about button rifling. It's rough. The 2 biggest ones, though, are this barrel ban or the barrel law and the Glock law. So the barrels, like I said, in Europe, your barrel is the registered item because for the longest time that was pretty much impossible to do. So California is now proposing to do the same thing. Yes, now there's ECM rifling. Yes, the electrochemical machining where you could it's like EDM, but you basically do EDM at home and you do EDM with like electrolysis, basically. That works. But anyways, here, this is what California is looking to do right now. And this is the proposed bill. I don't think it's been officially passed, or if it has, it's not showing up as passed in California yet. But they are saying here that a firearm barrel means the tube. The tube. And it's the tube, usually metal and cylindrical. Well, it would be, if it's not metal, it's going to be very awkward to shoot. Through which a projectile or shot charge is fired. Firearm barrel includes a barrel that has reached a stage of manufacturing where it may readily be completed, assembled, or converted to be used as a firearm. Okay, well, what does that mean? Doesn't really say. A firearm barrel may have a rifle or a smooth bore. Okay. Now they're talking about barrels that are attached to guns are not subject to this. So what do they want to do here? They're going to talk about here. So what are they saying? Starting January 1st, 2027, a firearm barrel shall not be sold or transferred unless that transaction is completed by an FFL. And the licensed dealer has conducted a background check to determine the person is authorized to purchase firearm ammunition and barrel in a manner described by the department. What is this all about? It's about people 3D printing guns. Because I can 3D print all the parts to a gun and then I just buy the barrel and the metal parts. Yeah, this is all about 3D printed stuff, guys. Yeah, you can do a 3D printed barrel maybe once or twice. But the idea is people can print up Glocks. They can print up AR-15s. All kinds of stuff. And yeah, no more. Are they going to ban 3/4 inch pipe? Because remember, chat, a 3/4 inch pipe is 12 gauge in diameter, and you can make a pipe shotgun. So yeah, it's going to be the hard thing there for them. But this is going to be rough. They say that commencing January 21st, firearm barrels shall be only possessed with intent to be sold or offered to be sold by a licensed dealer. So you have to be at least 18 years of age, and you can't be prohibited from doing it. So what the FFL has to legibly record all of the barrels things here, the date and sale, the ID of the person using it, the make, model, and caliber of the firearm that the barrel is going to be used in, the purchaser's full name, the name of the salesperson, the purchaser's full residential address, and their date of birth. And I mean, just think about how fucked up this is. They're saying a violation is punishable as a misdemeanor, a first violation. A second is up to by 1 year in jail and up to a $1,000 fine. A third violation shall be punishable by imprisonment in a county jail, not exceeding 1 year, and a fine not to exceed $2,000. Now, here's the thing: the reason why I think they're stuck with this is because they realize this is going to be really hard to enforce. Because how are you going to? Barrels don't have date codes on them like that. So barrels are just made, and barrels are just floating around. Barrels don't have any real date on them like that. That generally shows when they're made. So how are you going to know? I think that's going to be tough. That's going to be tough here unless people are stupid and they admit the things online. So, can I 3D print currency? No, don't try that. Yes, there are metal 3D printers if you can afford them. Are crazy, yes, but most people can't afford a sintering machine. But this is a complete fucking attack on the Second Amendment here, and I think that they're acknowledging this is going to be impossible to prove. That's why they're not making like felony 10 years in prison, because they realize this is not going to work. I don't know how they're going to enforce this. This is just, it's absolutely, this is something the Supreme Court will take up. So we'll see what happens there, but those are the big things that happen. So that'll be the interesting thing here with that. I just don't understand that. I just don't understand it. So, unlike Lawson's, I'm pretty sure they already do all that. Not for barrels. Because you can have a barrel shipped to your house right now. Kia Pat says they're going to try to get barrels serialized like the retarded micro stamping rule. Yeah, they're going to try. This is the next best thing for them. And yeah, their job is that they're looking to make this more expensive and more annoying. That's entirely their plan. They want to make it so people don't want to waste time doing it. All this is going to cause people to go out of state, buy barrels, and barrels are just going to get smuggled around. Remember, barrels and like barrel manufacturers are going to make barrels without date codes on them. You'll never be able to enforce it because you don't know when the barrel was made. So if I'm possessing a barrel, prove where this barrel came from. Now, you just can't be a dumb faggot and use your phone. Remember, don't use your tattle device. Don't use your tattle device, chat. On that. Yeah, you don't want a sintered barrel. I'm just saying. I know people are talking about 3D printing a barrel. I would not want to shoot a 3D printed barrel. And most importantly, ATF doesn't require serialization of barrels. Correct. You think SCOTUS won't touch us? Oh, I think they will. Why won't they take up the Illinois cases? I don't know because they don't think it's the right time. I'm not sure, Brimstone. I wish they'd take up the stuff soon. So, yes, California doesn't want any guns at all, but they're going to do what they can to make it impossible. HK serializes barrels for numbers. Some models, my P30 threaded barrel is marked. Yeah, but if I have an aftermarket P30 barrel, you won't know any difference. It's okay. I use incognito mode. I don't think that's going to help you. I don't think that's going to help you. I would not recommend it that way. I would not recommend it that way. All right, guys. Then the next thing that's happening, this one's actually kind of like, this is something I see happening very soon. And this is one of those ones when California does it, other states take notice. Do you think Cali will stop at guns? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Like, they're going to be working on guns forever because there's so many guns to deal with. So there's going to be California compliant barrels. I bet. Because here's what's going to happen: these manufacturers are going to start kind of like there was a gun company here in Ohio called Copes Distributing. They were sued by the San Francisco legal department, by the city, and by the California Attorney General for sending magazines and not paying attention and sending magazines into California. Just like the Seattle is suing Glock and then those gun stores, they're going to come up with every way possible to crush people. So just give it time. They will come up with a plan. The territory says, where will the government stop? Will they be going after laves next? At some point, yes. If they can regulate 3D printers, that would be their next step, is regulating heavy machine tools. I see that eventually. Because eventually somebody's going to get a lathe and a drill press from Harbor Freight and build a gun and kill people. And they'll do it that way. So yeah, give it some time. They'll probably will. So this is California. This bill has actually been, I know for a fact, has been signed into law by Gavin Newsom. And what does this one show? This one shows quite a bit. So it says that prohibits anybody from selling, leasing, or transferring a firearm unless the person is licensed as a firearms dealer. And they go on to move from here to talk about other things here. They say, for purposes of these provisions, existing law defines a machine gun to mean any weapon that shoots or is designed to shoot automatically. Well, what do they do? Well, they're prohibiting a licensed firearms dealer to sell, offer to sell, exchange, give, or transfer any semi-automatic machine gun convertible pistol. A machine gun convertible pistol is any semi-automatic pistol with a cruciform trigger bar that can readily be converted by hand or with common household tools into a machine gun by installation or attachment of a converter, also known as the Switchie, chat. The Switchie.
Switchie. No talk. No cap. No talk.
No cap indeed. And for some of you who don't know, a cruciform trigger, you guys have seen it probably when we've done some of the Glock rebuildings here. This is the, and it's actually a very good picture here. This is a very illustrative picture. For a Glock, this right here, guys, is actually the front face of the trigger. It pivots on this. So this is like the trigger sits. But this is the cruciform part of the trigger right here, the raised back portions. So it's not flat. It actually looks from the side. It comes up. So it's a raised portion of the trigger bar. So what is a common household tool? I agree. How do you define all that? Well, anyways, they move on to explain things here. So when they talk about any device that when installed to the rear of the slide of a semi-auto pistol replaces the back plate, it interferes with the trigger mechanism, which is what a Switchie does. You know, and to make violations of these punishable by a fine, a second violation may result in suspension of a dealer's license, and third violations are punishable, and that would be a revocation of your license as a dealer. So they say existing law prohibits the manufacture, sale, possession of machine guns, and violations of these prohibitions is a felony. So once again, machine gun would be including the convertible pistols equipped with the converter. And they talk about what they're going to do here, guys. This is absolutely fucking insane. It's absolutely insane. Now, what do they say? The existing law generally makes it an offense to sell an unsafe handgun in California. And then they point out, though, for any pistol on the roster on January 1st that was not subject to the above requirements because it was submitted for testing before the dates, are going to be basically grandfathered in. But they're allowing everybody to have to come back through. So they talk about firearms accessories means things that can be attached to the firearm that are designed, intended, or functions to alter or enhance the firing capabilities, including lethality or a shooter's ability to hold and use a firearm. So not only is it a switchie they're worried about, but grips, rails are now being listed. And they say firearm-related products mean firearms, ammunition, and an accessory that meets in the following things. It's sold, made, or distributed in California. It's intended to be sold in California. Or the item is or was possessed in California. And they're going to establish liability for firearm industry partners, meaning person, firm, corporation, company, partnership, whatever that is involved in the sale of firearms-related products. And then a firearm manufacturing machine means a 3-dimensional printer, a CNC milling machine, or, as reasonably intended to be a manufacturer or produce a firearm. So that goes after like ghost gunners. So this is where they go, guys. This is where they go here. And they talk about all the shit you can't do. And they're going after everything. Every fucking thing, you guys. And they talk about the term machine gun being part of Title 26 in the United States Code. Yes. And that's because, remember, the National Firearms Act is a tax at the end of the day. So we get down to the machine gun convertible pistols again. With the installation of a pistol converter on the back plate of the slide, which is how Glocks work. I think there's even now M&P switches. I think there's even fucking Taurus switches nowadays. So they say that a machine gun convertible pistol does not include a hammer-fired pistol or a striker-fired semi-automatic pistol lacking inclusive-form trigger bar, which instead is a trigger bar that is shielded from the interference by a pistol converter. A polymer notch or another piece of polymer molded onto the rear of the gun does not prevent ready conversion into a machine gun and will not prevent a pistol from qualifying. And Glock did that. They modified their guns with a plastic stubbing out there. California saying that doesn't matter because you can cut it off. And once again, a pistol converter is a switchie. And yeah, they're going forward with this. They are going forward with this. They are going forward with this. But here's the thing. This will not apply to any of the following things. If a pistol is delivered prior to January 1st, it's not going to be covered like this. That doesn't mean you can strap a switchie to it. It's just saying this law does not apply to you. The sale of a machine gun can be visible to any of the following entities for lawful use. A police department, sheriff's office, probation department. Look, all the law enforcement, they get a special exemption. Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? I thought the gun's so dangerous. Why are we letting the cops have it? I don't know, chat. I don't know. Makes no fucking sense to me. Makes absolutely no fucking sense. I just don't know. I just don't know. I just don't know. I just don't know at this point. So, the military naval forces of this state or of the United States. Well, gosh, thank God you're allowing the government, the federal government, not to be bound by this gun law. But, you know, yes, these guns are dangerous and unsafe, but cops can buy them. But then the cop could turn around and sell it, which is what they do a lot in California. Because they can get off-roster guns. You know, if you transfer it to a gunsmith, you know, if you transfer it back to a private party after safekeeping, after a temporary prohibition, so somebody gets like a restraining order. The transfer of a pistol to any forensic lab or laboratory while on duty and acting within the scope of course of employment. Like, think about all the shit they just did here. All the guns. I mean, basically, it's an anti-Glock law. Yep, there are little whole off roster black market with the pigs. Yep. Yes, it's about stopping lawful people from dispensing justice. Remember, the communists want to have an absolute monopoly on violence. You being armed means you don't need them. And eventually, you might come kill them. So that's why they don't like this. Yes, cops even sell evidence guns to gangbangers. Yes, I've heard that in the LAPD. A lot of evidence guns have been missing lately. So, oh. And did Newsom already sign this? Yes. Yes. So, and here's the thing. Who's crazy enough to take the risk? A lot of people are, because unless you get caught, you're not going to get, you know, you're not going to get noticed. And I think for a lot of people, they're going to be able just to hide under the fact that there are a million fucking Glocks in California. So you won't know if it's new or not. Now, eventually, at some point, there may be a design change where, like, you can clearly tell this is a Glock built after a certain year in 2026. But you won't, not as of yet. Not as of yet. So, even if he didn't sign it, it's still go into effect after so much time. His role is to veto it. Oh, I forgot. California has those weird laws. Yeah. Yeah. And even here, I think you can pocket veto things. So let's see. Yes. California is SIGers only now. Yes. You have to buy a SIG P320 instead, chat. Oh, that is a Faustian bar. Oh God. That's Sophie's choice, man. You gotta buy a Glock that they're gonna ban, or you gotta buy a P320. It's like, whoa. Would I really want to do either one? I don't know, guys. I don't know. I don't know about that, man. That would just be, whoa, man. Whoa. Oh. So I just don't know. I don't know how you'd want to do either one of these things. So this is it. But yeah, California, my God, I am so sorry for you. My heart goes out to you. You guys are getting fucked so hard right now. And it's not fair. It's not fair. At all. There's no other. Just nothing else. Nothing else. Hmm. Hold on, chat. So there you go. But yeah, my heart goes out to California, man. I don't know what you guys are going to do. I hope something happens. I just don't know what it's going to be. I just don't know what it's going to be. Law says hello. Yes, hello. Kia Path says I have a P365. Bronca said it's what he carries, and I haven't had a problem yet. Well, no, there's not. The P365 has been properly. It's not a death trap. That was properly designed. They weren't trying to make a Glock 17 without making a Glock 17. The P320 was SIG's attempt to make a Glock without using Glock technology. So the P320 is a death trap. If I said P365, I'm sorry. So, oh, yes, you're only allowed to carry P320's appendix. Yeah. At least the Springfield Hellcats on the California roster. Yeah, but I'm not a big fan of Springfield Armory pistols, especially the grip zone on them, and you have to have the grip safety. Bass Player 2011 is saying, though with the SCAR being discontinued on the civilian side, there are now 0 high-quality battle rifles that aren't ARs. Well, I mean, it is what it is, man. It's that good. It's that good. I know it sucks, but you have to then recognize, wow, we've had time to try everything, and this is where we all end up. Maddie says if HK wasn't gay, they would have made the MP5 at 45. They did make the MP5 at 45. It's called the UMP. But I mean, if you're saying they should have done like the MP5/40 or like they did the MP5/10, I guess, but you know, they made the UMP instead. So you kind of got it anyway. Joe's saying 9mm Largo is 38 Super. Is it really? I thought they were different cartridges. Yeah. They're similar. But yeah, the way I always understood it was 38 or like 38 ACP. Like, yeah, there's 38 Super is far more powerful than 9mm Largo. I'm just Googling here because I'm like, yeah, I think they're far different cartridges. If I'm wrong, I'm all happy to be wrong though. Squizgar says 460 Roland is basically supersonic 45. Yeah, but nobody, like, how many 1911s are made in 460 Roland? Yeah. Some guy with cancer. Good to see you, man. He says SCOTUS is busy trying to stop disabled blacks from voting, which, I mean, based. And then KBJ told me so, which, true, she did. True, she did. Newsom wants to be president, lol. I have a better chance. Well, maybe. And I hope you're feeling better. I hope you're staying strong out there. Bass Player says, or, you know, Glock can make a double action, single action pistol, have a decent trigger for the first time in their existence. If they spent time and money on that, that would eat into the horse cum budget. So no, they can't do that. They've got a design that works good enough for who it's for, and they're going to leave it at that. If you want a better trigger, get an aftermarket trigger, which are some of the aftermarket triggers are phenomenal. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Supers by 23, yeah, but there's 9 by 21 is Largo, I understood. Yeah, that's what I thought. Largo is by 21. Yeah, it's roller delayed, and the UMP isn't a roller gun. You don't need a roller gun for 45. 45 does not have the pressure where you need roller delayed blowback. 45 can just be straight blowback. That's one of the cool things about 45 ACP. You can make your gun a little more ghetto in operating. And you can operate on a far more ragged threshold than 9mm could ever hope to operate. HK isn't gay, they're just autistic Germans. Well, they are gay, though, sometimes. So, let's see here. I wouldn't want to be shot with a 22. I wouldn't want to get with a hammer. That doesn't mean that's the acceptable weapon. Manny Catton saying, isn't there a bump fire? Yeah. But they can't make your belt loops illegal, so that's why bump firing isn't really an issue anymore. Vodka Blood says, where's the law? Well, they just did it. They just passed it. So if you're in California, my heart goes out to you guys. Do they allow God's Gun the 1911? Yeah, there's a lot of 1911s that are on the handgun roster there. That is something they have. Let me chat. I need to see what this is real quick here. Okay, give me 1 second. All right, chat. Sorry, I just had to check those out. Somebody sent me a voice message instead of a thing there. So, Lost saying, I just arrived. What did California do? Basically, they banned Glocks, any new Glocks, and they ban and all barrels are going to have to be passed through an FFL going forward. If you buy a barrel for a gun to build a gun, which I thought was pretty much impossible to do in California now anyway, but anytime you buy a barrel going forward at starting in 2027, it'll have to go through your FFL and they'll have to run your information. Yes, the NRA lawsuit in the Glock ban is James v. Bonta. Okay, well, I didn't know that it had actually been filed yet. I know it's something they were working on. Beanpot says, why Glock specifically? Because there are a gajillion Glocks. And because when you think of like people with Switchies,
Switchy. No talk. No cap. No talk.
Glocks are very like the Glock switch is a very easy modification. Like it didn't take much. A guy in the late 80s figured it out and made one. But yeah, like Glocks, like there's a ton of them with it. Like it's not like there's millions of them, but like it's an easy gun to do this to. It's the easiest. That's why they do it for this instead of the M&Ps. If you only had Smith & Wesson M&Ps, people would figure out a way to make those full auto or a Taurus full auto. Glock is the easiest one, so that's why Glock is the low-hanging fruit. Also, Glock is the biggest fucking gun brand in America. Like, it's probably one of the most commonly owned firearms in the country in each state, including California. So that's why they're going after Glock. I thought Switchy meant something different. It could be. Jeez. Oh, no. No. Oh. That is not appropriate, sir. This sounds like banning Honda Civics to stop street racing. Yeah, but that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. Because it's guns, they're going to go forward and be retarded about it. Don't police in California use Glocks? Yes, but they're allowed to. It's just like New York when they did their assault weapons bans and their SAFE Act and all the shit they passed. If you are a cop, law enforcement's exempt from all that stuff. In New York, actually, for the SAFE Act, which they passed a couple years ago, the legislator fucked up and forgot to give law enforcement exemptions. And the bill got passed. They fucking screamed and cried about it. And immediately the legislator went back in and like voted in law enforcement exemptions. So, yes, it's a very big thing there. You know, cops will have those exemptions also still. So. Just about every country in the PD in the country uses Glocks. Yeah, or Glocks. Or M&Ps, but yeah, basically it's going to be a Glock. Ever since, the early 80s, Glock has been slowly just taking off in the firearms market. So let me see here. Some guy cancer. I have stage 4 cancer. Like I care about appropriate. No, I know, but like it was like, ew. We're not talking about like switch hitting. MX Rug is saying yes. Why does 9x21 exist? Because in many countries they have laws against owning military cameras. Correct. Mexico has that as well. That's why 38 Super is still a very popular handgun cartridge throughout Central and South America. Because 9mm, 45, 40, 10mm, 38, 357, 32 ACP, 380. Those are all military calibers. You can't own them. So that's why 38 Super is a big popular brand. 9x21, 9x23. Those are all very, very popular. Let's see. So Dirty Eric says, I got cancer late stage 3. Man, I My thoughts go out to you, man. I hope you fucking beat it. I hope you beat it. Hope you're kicking its ass, man. Thoughts with you too. Vodka Blood says, here in Massachusetts, do I need a special license for a crossbow? I'm not good. I mean, shit. I mean, the case, Kitano, Massachusetts v. Kitano, was about a lady needing a permit for a fucking taser. So I'm not sure that you don't. You might want to check. I consult with a local lawyer, and I'd do some Googling there if I were you. Truth says, I wonder how many illegals are cops in California. Probably quite a bit. Probably a lot more than we'd like to admit. No, Mayo says in Connecticut you need special permission for a crossbow until about a decade ago. That wasn't uncommon. For a long time, you had to be disabled to use a crossbow. That was just a very common thing because in many states they were trying to keep shit. That means a lot more people can hunt because it's not that it takes strength to take like a compound bow and sit there with it, but it takes more skill to aim and use one. And to allow crossbows would increase the deer harvest. Well, they realized not that many people were going to come out that were new, and ultimately the deer in many states are sustainable. But yes, for a lot of places, you had to have a medical reason to have a crossbow. So if you're injured yourself or you were disabled, you could have a crossbow. You'd have to show proof of it, though. I think it's all bullshit, but that's the way it was in a lot of places. Digital Lee for $5 says my home state needs to stop passing gun laws. They're literally creating Supreme Court precedent every time they pass gun control. Well, I mean, that's also helpful that Supreme Court could strike it down. So, but yes, I agree. They should stop, but they're never going to stop. Politicians and rust never sleep. Politicians and rust never sleep. That's the thing. That's the thing, guys. That's the thing. They never stop. So they'll never, ever, ever be happy with this. They will keep going, and they will keep going, and they will keep going. That's a sad thing. That's a sad thing. When are we getting Clyde content? Well, I mean, hey, Clyde. Come here, Bubba. Come here, Clyde. Is he hanging out with you? Well, 2.0 got back, and he's been living in her shed. He's been living in her shadow right now, so that's been I'm not surprised he's not coming in to see us. He's like, no, I'm hanging out with my primary human. Oh. So let's see here. Clyde. Bubber Bear. Yeah, he ain't coming, guys. Sorry. 2.0 came back this afternoon, and Clyde was like, no, I want my person. They are here, and I like them. He's like, sorry, fat man. Sorry, chat. Sorry, chat. We got to suffer. Adam says, do you think courts will smash down the Glock ban? I mean, the Ninth Circuit, as Trump changed the composition of the Ninth Circuit. I mean, yes, as things go on, yes, I hope so. I think if people get this down in front of Judge Benitez down in San Diego, that'll be a great place to start. But just for a while, it's yeah, for now, probably not. I mean, I hate to be the Debbie Downer, but California's going to be a lost cause for a long time. Fair Frozen, you're right. Yes, crossbows in medieval times were banned because it allowed the average commoner, the average foot soldier can now walk up to a knight and penetrate his body armor with it. Who would be some sort of nobleman. So yes, there was a reason why crossbows in medieval times were banned, but that's not the same reason why they were still banned in the 20th century. Crossbows were considered to be poaching weapons. Yes, traditionally, yes. But as we got into the 20th century, is more about we need to have sustainable deer populations, because during the Great Depression, like in Ohio, for example, deer became extinct. The only deer that were left were on private farms and private hunting preserves. And then eventually, as things tend to happen in that situation, I mean, they were hunted out, people eating. The deer, the fences got knocked down in a storm and the deer would get out and the deer started multiplying. And yeah, I mean, like there's a thing about that. Ag says, try the dill garlic one first. We'll do that. Let's see here. Garrett says they caught a guy in Missoula who shot over 200 deer over 3 years with a crossbow. Yeah, but that guy would have probably been able to shoot him with a bow too. That's just a guy going after everything. Let's see here. Poor second human. I know, but that's such his life. When did you give Clyde an Indian accent? No, he doesn't have an Indian accent. Trump once says, "Come to Berea tomorrow. I'll be in the middle building." Maybe. I didn't know they were doing the Berea Gun Show tomorrow. I don't know. I got to see what 2.0 and my objectives are this weekend. But I might do that. Yes, Trump said, "Fuck off," FAFO to Venezuela, which, wow, man, this is insane. I want to, I saw the. Let's see here. We'll bring up the clip real quick, chat. If you want something to be based with right now, this is actually pretty funny here. This is actually a funny thing. I just Googled Venezuela on Twitter, but this is a guy. This is a guy. He says, "Fall's here now. I'm dreaming that Venezuelan invasion to be warm again." So if you're lonely. They're obviously somewhere probably in the Caribbean, or they're in some tropical area, and Venezuela's in the tropics. I'm here waiting for you. I'm just a crosshair. I'm just a shot away from you. And if you leave here, you leave me broken, shattered and light. I'm just a crosshair. I'm just a shot, then we can die. Fun fact, these are the fastest helicopters in the U.S. military, or in the U.S. Army. The Chinook. They can go so fast, they have to slow down and wait for people to catch up. But there is a Trump did make a big comment here. Let me see. Yeah, where is... Oh, yeah, this was the other thing yesterday. There was a B-52 flying off the coast of Caracas. And this is done as a show of force, saying, look what we can do. We'll do all this shit here. It was a B-52 just fucking around. And remember, Caracas is the capital of Venezuela, if you were not aware. And yes, here we go. This is Trump after he met with Zelensky. But here we go.
Things are happening around the world, I'll say that.
Mr. President, it has been reported that Maduro offered everything in his country, all the natural resources. He even recorded a message to you in English recently, offering mediation. What should we do in order to stop that?
He has offered everything. He's offered everything. You're right. You know why? Because he doesn't want to fuck around with the United States. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, guys. Thanks, guys. Let's go.
Wow.
Thank you, guys.
Wow. That's impressive. That's impressive. That is gunboat diplomacy right there. So. Oh. Let's see. What are you guys talking about? Yes, in related news, New Jersey sued Glock over being a nuisance. Yeah, the same way California did it. Yeah. And it's the same way Seattle did it too. The aerial refueling in a helicopter seems insane. Well, I mean, it's like it's done. I mean, it's not like it's something they perfected. It's something they were trying to do since Vietnam and Desert One. But yeah, it's actually pretty easy. You just have to do it like on like a C-130 because helicopters aren't going to be able to keep up with like a KC-135. Let's see here. Where is? Let me see if there's a good picture of. Yeah, here we go. And now you have to be careful though, because in helicopters, when they're chasing that fueling line on the drogue, there can be disastrous consequences. Yes, chat, that helicopter circumcised itself. It cut the end off the fueling probe. And that's because your helicopter, when you're in the helicopter, your helicopter blades generally stay on the same plane. They just tilt the pitch and it allows the airframe to turn. So that is a problem. That's why if you're a door gunner in a helicopter and the helicopter's in a turn, the blades are down here. You can't shoot straight out. You have to make sure you shoot down. Yeah, there are some issues with helicopters though. We also sent the Ghost Ship MV down there. Yep, the SOCOM boat. So and Pseudo Snark says in Argentina they did outside the helo rides. Oh, yes. They use other helicopters to refuel. They generally use like C-130s to do the refueling for that. So, yes, but this helicopter brist itself. Oh. Am I up to date on the THC and hemp rules? If there's new things, no. But I knew like what they previously were. Email me at potentiallycriminal@gmail.com and we could talk if you have some questions. It's like a spacewalk without the 0G, yes. Yes, Trump is driving the left nuts. Peace in Gaza, attacking the socialist state in Venezuela, criticizing Putin and Xi, getting praise from the winner of the Nobel Peace Prize, who dedicated it to him, and winning his court cases. I know. He is the emperor of mankind and of our hearts, chat. He truly is. He truly is. So, all right, guys. You're starting an account on Blue Sky. All right, guys, we are all done for the night on this. We are going to go over, we're going to play some games tonight. We're going to do a little gaming. We're going to be a gamer tonight. And yes, Antifa is designated as a terrorist. John Bolton's been indicted. Letitia James, James Comey, they're all getting indicted, chat. We're getting them all back together. Oh, the White House started an account on Blue Sky. Nice. All right. So what I was thinking, chat, is I don't think I'm gonna do Train Sim tonight. I want to play some Sniper Elite 5. Because I want to, and we're gonna do that. We're gonna get a little Carl Fairburn action going. If you guys have never played it before, it's pretty cool. It's kind of like Metal Gear Solid, sneaking and Splinter Cell type sneaking around. But you're in World War II. You also have really cool bullet time and some like X-rays like of shots and everything. So That's what I was thinking about tonight. I don't think it'll be the trains tonight. Might do trains tomorrow night. Do I have hell let loose? I think I do. I don't know. It's going to be so Kino. Lisa says, I love Sniper Elite based. We're going to go locals? No, we're going to stream over here on YouTube. So, some guy who cancels a turn-off X-ray. I like having it once in a while. Like, I think it's neat to once in a while. But yes, I don't like every shot being an X-ray shot. So, I pick my nose. Why wouldn't I? Access everyone invades Sean's game. I turned that off. The first time I played it, the Axis invasion thing happened where, like, you could parachute into someone's game as a counter sniper and kill the guy. And I'm just walking along and, like, I killed the dude. And I was like, what the fuck is this? It was fucking crazy, man. I was like, what the hell? But we can't say the N-word here. We could say it here. Nicker, nicker, nicker. You could say it. Faggot. We can say all kinds of words here. Yes, Amazon Prime Sniper. No, we're going to do it here on Potentially Criminal. And then after it's over, we'll just private it. So, there are channels dedicated to invasions. Well, I'm not. I have invasions turned off because I'm playing it. I'm trying to make it difficult. And I'm trying to engage in a lot of environmental kills and things like that. We'll talk about this as we play, chat. The worst slur of all is called being a knicker. So we're going to go ahead and do it. We're going to go ahead and start up here. I'm going to end this chat and we're going to start. Hold on here. We'll do it here tonight. Hold on here. ELI. All right, we're going to do some game night here. All right, I'm going to set for schedule. We'll do like 9:45 just so I can get everything set up. And then chat, we'll have the casino running in the background. We'll do it that way. How about that? That way I can get OBS going. Did somebody message me? They massaged me. Uh-oh, what happened? Oh, no, that was just locals telling me, or Discord. No, whatever. Yeah, anyways, chat. Hold on. Oh, no, I lost it. I have too many tabs open, chat. No. Is this it? Yes, it is. This is the one. Sorry. I lost it down there. Blade 2.0 says, hit the like button. This was never a law show. It was always a vehicle for trade streaming. And yes, chat, I'm sorry on this one. We are going to have to kill Nazis. So, forgive me, Father, for I don't know what I'm doing as I kill these poor little Nazis. Oh no. I'll let you guys auto direct over there too, and I will get the let's see here. We'll try this real quick. Oh, we're still at 26,900 chat. We're almost getting there. Almost at 27K. But we're getting there. We're getting there. Redirect. Yes. All right. Share your Steam key, Sean. No balls. All right. Stacey's good. I can go get ice cream. Well, there you go. You can sell the gamer words if you're not a pussy. I know. We can say them here. Pretend they're Romanians. Well. Oh, yes. 07's in the chat for all these National Socialists I'm going to be killing. So here we go. Anyways, let's go, chat. We're going to do this. Anyways, chat, in the meantime, we are going to go head over there and we'll talk. We'll do a stream tomorrow. I'm not sure what yet, but we'll do something. We'll hang out. And just remember until next time, just because you did it does not mean You're guilty. Although in California, God almighty, you're going to be guilty of everything at this point. So, yeah. Yeah, sorry to hear it, guys. F's in the chat for California, but maybe something will fix that. Maybe something will fix that. Uncle Clarence will save the day. Here's to hoping. Here's to hoping. Good night, chat. I'll see you guys around.
Weapons, blacksmithing, and models of planes, esoteric works, and even some trains. Much merriment had while drinking White Claws, tips on hunting, and even talking the law. Whatever you do, just don't talk to cops, even when they nab you on illegal stops. Just 'cause you did it doesn't mean you're guilty, but please talk to a local attorney. Was that the